Yo, Tom Fiddzy here with my review of What If episode 3. This one was very surprising, this episode. I thought this was going to be like What If Loki rules Asgard and rules the world episode, and it wasn't that. So, spoilers straight away. The What If in this episode was a little bit not as straightforward as some of the other ones, you know. The what if was presented as what if the Avengers, the initial Avengers, died before they could become the Avengers. And it was that was the story, but it was more when you get to the end, and this is where the spoilers come from. What if Hope had joined the Avengers prior and had become a shield agent and died? And obviously that was really cool because we found out that the bad guy in this was Ant-Man, was Hank Pym, the original Ant-Man, and he was like crazy, kind of had the Yellow Jacket style suit. And that was really cool. It was great seeing him use his powers to kill off these mighty Avengers. Makes me think that current Ant-Man is, maybe not working, maybe not using his power to the full potential, I would say, There was one thing in here where it was definitely like, why didn't you do that to Thanos, The old classic argument of Ant-Man up the bum on Thanos could have worked from the looks of this because Hank Pym defeats the Hulk by getting in there and throwing his expanding thing at the Hulk's heart, and it just expands the heart. That's a bit like questionable though, because why would it just affect the heart and not the whole of you? How does it know the difference? If you throw that at a car and it just hits the tire, why does it not just expand the tire? Why does it expand the whole car? With the building and stuff, why did it affect everything inside the building? So why didn't what you think about it too much, but it was a cool way, and it does, answer some of those questions as to yeah, Ant-Man definitely could have got up the Hulk's butt, up Thanos' butt, and blown him up from the inside. Because if you can do that with the Hulk, he can definitely do that with Thanos. Um, but yeah, the what if on this was a little bit. It wasn't as straightforward as a lot of the other ones. I do like with the last ones. It does seem a lot more like there's one what if, but it's actually affects a whole different bunch of other things. So it feels like there's more what ifs. I do kind of like how in the first episode there was just that one little change, but I much prefer these kind of crazy alternate timelines. So yeah, it's kind of deviating from that. Just one little change can do so much. Even though the change was like hope, but then it kind of led into all of these other little things as well. I do much prefer these just crazy ones because with this episode, I was generally had no idea where it was going. I was generally on the edge of my seat. I was joining in on this murder mystery, kind of what is going on. I don't know. I was like, it's got to be Loki, right? Surely it's Loki. Or at first, I just thought it was like maybe just this happens to be the universe where Tony Stark is just like allergic to that thing that went in his neck and or had a heart attack or something. But no, and it kept going. I was like, well, what could it be? Is it a scroll? Are they back? And then did not see the Ant-Man thing coming. Then when you look back at the deaths, you're like, oh yeah, I get it. That kind of makes sense. Um, so I thought that was really awesome. They had Loki come in, and it was constantly like, could it be Loki? Could it be Loki? We got Loki versus Ant-Man as well. That was generally surprising. Never thought I'd see like that play out. That was really cool. Uh, so yeah, generally kind of just surprising episode, and that is kind of like last week's one, and that is what you can do when you affect the timeline a lot more than just one little difference. It was great as well going back and seeing like the Incredible Hulk again in the MCU, like the familiar like campus characters and stuff in there. But then with like the Mark Ruffalo character in that place, that was really awesome as well. Makes that feel a lot more connected into the MCU. Because I thought that was generally good. The animation was great as well. All like the expressions, everything when Tony Stark ate that donut, I was like, that's really cool. That's like quite good animation the way he's eating it. Um, so yeah, I thought this episode was generally really good. It is, and the fact that they left that hope during the Avengers thing, or at least during Shield thing, right to the end as the real what if, kept the mystery going. Um, it just does, yeah, it does feel like it is a lot more what ifs than the one what if. And I love the fact that this one as well teases potential stories. It seems like every universe that we're going in, every alternate universe, or maybe they're all connected. I don't, or will all connect. I'm not sure. But I like how they are ending them with possibilities for a continuation. You know, if there's a second series, are we going to jump back into these? Are we going to jump back into them in this series? Or is it just open it up as, well, you know, just because that one thing happened doesn't mean that the story's not continuing. In this universe, there is a whole new MCU series of films with from set up from where this one ends, because this one ends with Captain America is still there. I'm surprised that Ant-Man didn't go to Captain America in the ice and like fly straight through his heart or something when he was in the ice. You know, you kind of slacked there. Surely Captain America was still on the case files, but okay, that's fine. But yeah, I did like that. And then obviously Captain Marvel turns up. So it leaves us in a place where we're like, okay, we can continue. Obviously, the one with T'Challa as Star-Lord left us with, well, what actually happened to Peter Quill, and that left us with that. And then obviously the uh, Captain Carter one, Captain Carter going to the future, and you could be like, well, what if Captain Carter just replaced Captain America for the rest of the Avengers film? So all of these feel like they could have their own MCU series going on from there. Maybe they're feeling the water to see which ones are getting like the most attention and stuff. I'd like to see Captain Marvel have a go at Loki and try and win the world back from Loki, because Loki just did a classic Loki and sees the opportunity at the end here to take over. So we got another Loki variant to the Loki variant collection. I guess this is where President Loki maybe came from, the original President Loki, but this is like Emperor of Earth Loki, Conqueror of Earth Loki. That was pretty cool. I do feel like Thor dying just to one arrow wasn't enough. Like, I feel like maybe it should have just hit him and just bounced off. I did like all the jokes with his hair and stuff. Maybe he flicked his hair onto the arrow and the arrow just breaks. But yeah, one arrow killed Thor. Was that enough? I don't know. For me, I don't really think it was. It should crumple. Surely it should have just crumpled, just flexed and crumpled it, catched it between his boobs, his abs. I don't know, but that's fine. It's just one small thing. Again, like the Hulk one, don't question it too much. You know, you only got 30 minutes to play with. Can't go explaining it all. So yeah, this episode was really fun, I think. And once again, just like the last episode, it sets up the series as I have no idea where any of these episodes are gonna go. Um, as said at the beginning, my one big criticism is the fact that the what ifs seem to be getting more and more crazy, which is, as I said, that is a good thing. But at the same time, I thought the series was just going to be small changes. And I would kind of like to see them. I don't want to watch the same films over again, though. So my mind's a bit conflicted in that regard. What do you think? Do you want big changes or do you want smaller changes? You know, is the fact that Hope joined Shield enough of a what's if, or was it too much what's if to have that one thing to have changed? You know, I would have liked to have gone back and seen that the Hope years in Shield, and like why wasn't she? Well, I guess she was dead, but why wasn't that like she was? Why wasn't she in a team back then or anything? Why in this current MCU was she not a candidate for the initial Avengers or anything? It does throw up a lot more questions, doesn't it? But who cares? We got a really fun episode. We got to see the Hulk explode. He exploded in a cloud of green gas, but that would have been a lot more gruesome for the people. We should have cut to Black Widow, and she should have done a "that was gross" line that she did in Infinity War. But yeah, overall, I think this is probably I think this is probably my favorite one. I think it was the one I was like most engaged with. I really did like the T'Challa one in space last time, but The Thanos thing was a little bit like, oh, I don't know. Then maybe that's a bit too far, although the concept was cool. But I think this one was definitely the one I was most like engaged with, and like generally didn't know. I thought maybe Black Widow was going to get killed when she was in that car beating up all of the agents and stuff. At every point, I was like, I don't know when she's going to die, you know? I don't know who this invisible person is killing her. Like, I'm like, who's this? Who could this be? Um, could it be Ghost? I don't know. So yeah, right to the end, I was like, who is it? Who's going to walk out? Who's going to walk out? Then when the second you saw Ant-Man and Hope, I was like, oh, I should have seen that. Of course it was. So yeah, really good episode. Like again, I like the fact that you saw the Watcher a few times throughout. And the only other thing I would say to take away from this is, was it confirmed before that Iron Man 2, Thor, and the Incredible Hulk all took place within the same week? Was that always a thing? I don't remember it always being a thing, but it happens on like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's a busy week in the MCU. What a big coincidence that Thor would arrive at that time. Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense with the post-credit scenes and stuff, but I always assumed that they were like a year apart, a month apart, like coming like real world timeline kind of things, not the same week. Uh, Maybe I just missed that. I don't know. Did anyone else know that? Let me know down in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. I don't actually know what the next episode is. I haven't looked it up yet. So going in blind. Sorry for the slight delayed review as well. I actually had a busy Wednesday and busy yesterday. I don't even know if I'm going to have time to be able to do a thumbnail today. So it might just be the worst. It might just be a picture of me going like this. There we go. I'll screenshot that. No, episode 3. There we go. That's the thumbnail, and I'll do a proper one another day. Okay. Right. Bye.